Jeff Little, Pro Staff for Hoghead Baits, and I'm going to cover tube rigging and a specific tube color that I've designed for hoghead baits. I guess I'll start with my favorite way to rig a tube, and that's weedless. What I start with here is a tube, an egg sinker, typically a 1/4 ounce egg sinker here, a hoghead baits glass rattle, nice noisy thing there, and this is a 5/0 extra wide gap hook. You start by taking the egg sinker and shoving it up towards the top, shove it up in the tube cavity. I don't like going all the way to the top because I like a little bit of play in there for when I do the hook set, so it stops with just enough room that you can pinch the tip of that, okay? Then you take the glass rattle in there. Now I do pre-rig mine. I'll sit down in front of the TV and rig up, I don't know, 100 of those or so at a time. And that's ready to go. Just shove that rattle up in there. What I will do that I don't have the, actually I do have some crazy glue here. I'll go ahead and do it with this one. It's just your typical, super glue. Open that sucker up. And the reason I want to crazy glue that glass rattle in place is because I'll add scent. And most of the scents that are available are pretty greasy. They're good. They're actually a good lubricant. And what'll happen is that egg sinker will come flying out when you cast it. So here's a bag full of ones I've already pre-rigged. Alright, so work that in there. Any soft plastic, soft plastic glue will do, or this one's just, from the hardware store. Okay, so that's ready to go, nice and loud, and here's my extra wide gap hook. This part is important. You want to get it centered on there as much as possible. So it's going to go on roughly like that right there. Alright? So the reason you want it on there centered as much as possible, because otherwise it'll spiral. So I'll go straight in the dead top center, go in just a little bit, in through the nose, out through the chin of the tube. Slide that sucker down, and then turn it around here. Okay? Now, I'll look and see, I'll lay it on there and see how it wants to sit. And then I'll make sure I go straight across right there. That one's good to go. That one's fairly straight. But what'll happen if it's not straight, and I'll teach you a little trick here in a moment, is see how it's off-centered. What that'll do is as you're retrieving it through the water, it'll corkscrew. It'll corkscrew the whole way back, and as you bring it in, I got one rigged here. Let me see if I can get one to spiral real good for me. And typically when I bring them back in, I'll bring them back, skipping it across the water so it doesn't do that corkscrew if I'm done fishing it in a spot. But what'll happen is if you have a line twist, big bird's nest will jump up through your line, and you're sitting there picking out that bird's nest as opposed to fishing. The habit that I like to get into to avoid this is to, every 4th or 5th cast, you leave about 6 feet of line hanging off the And you see how that's spinning like there? If it's spinning real hard, you really want to continue spinning it in that same direction. That undoes line twist that's already gathered here on your reel. Okay? So whatever direction it naturally wants to spin in, just by doing this with the line, you spin it further in that direction. Let's see if we can get one here. And this is the color I'm fishing right now is one I'm going to cover here in a second. It's one of my my design. It's the first color that I've designed for hoghead baits. It's called river bottom. It's because your average crayfish, tries to blend in with the river bottom. Cut.